Hello everyone and welcome to this video lesson on conditional sentences in English. Conditional sentences are used to express how one thing depends on another. They are very common and useful in everyday communication. So it's important to learn how to use them correctly. Let's start. Conditional structure consists of if clause and result clause. So we have two clauses together. Between them, comma. So in the conditional structure, we can start with if clause, comma, result clause, or result clause, no comma, if clause. So we can understand the structure of conditional sentences has two forms. Form number one, if clause, comma, result clause, or result clause, no comma, if clause. There are four main types of conditional sentences: 0, first, second, and third. Each type has different structure and meaning, and we use them in different situations. Let's look at each type in detail. Let's start with the first type of conditional sentences, which is the zero conditional. The zero conditional is used to talk about general truths or facts that always happen and always true. For example, if you heat water, it boils, so it's fact. When it rains, the grass gets wet. It's truth. So, when we wanted to talk about facts or truth, we use zero conditional sentences. How can we form the structure of zero conditional? As we said, conditional sentences consist of if clause and result clause. In zero conditional, the if clause and result clause in a present simple tense. Let's repeat the examples. If you heat water, it boils. You heat, present simple. It boils, present simple. Another example. When it rains, the grass gets wet. It rains, present simple. The grass gets wet, present simple. So, the structure of zero conditional is if, present simple, comma, present simple. We can also use when instead of if. So you can use if or when as you want. That's up to you. Now let's talk about the first conditional. The first conditional is used to talk about possible situations in the present or future. I mean, when you aren't sure about the results or you are sure 50%, use the first conditional. For example, if you study hard, you will pass the exam. The result here isn't certain. You study hard, but you may pass the exam or may not. So, the result isn't certain. Let's take another example. I will call you if I need any help. The result here isn't certain also, because when I need a help, I may call you and may not. So, the possibility is 50%. Now let's talk about the structure of the first conditional sentences. We form if clause with the present simple, and we form the result clause with will or want and infinitive. Let's take an example. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. So, if sentence or if clause in the present simple, you study, and result clause, will plus infinitive, will pass. We can also use other modal verbs in result sentences, like can, may, or might instead of will. Now, Let's move to the second conditional. The second conditional is used to talk about unreal or imaginary situations in the present or future. So, when we imagine things or talk about unreal situations, we use second conditional sentences. For example, if I had $1 million, I would travel around the world. This situation isn't real. It's an imagination. I don't have $1 million to travel around the world, so I just imagine. Another example, she would be happier if she quit her job. She couldn't quit her job, so I'm just imagining. It's just imagine. Unreal situation, so we use second conditional. Now let's talk about the structure of the second conditional sentences. In the second conditional sentences, we form the if clause with past symbol, and we form the result clause with would plus infinitive. Let's go back to our previous example. If I had $1 million, I would travel around the world. If I had past symbol, I would travel would plus infinitive. We formed the if clause with the past symbol, and we formed the result clause with would plus infinitive. Important note, we can also use other modal verbs like could, might, or should instead of would in result clause in this type of conditional sentences.